Hello,
Ooh.
my
Mm.
black ATLians and non-ATLians.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well,
Hello, my black Alabamians, because we're just not gonna say the whole city. Um,
the whole fire.
we're just gonna talk about the whole state. Hi, how are you? How's it going? How your mama them? Happy
you
to see
know,
you.
Thanksgiving time's around the corner. Get ready for questions. But that
Get
don't got nothing to
ready.
do with what we were talking about today.
I'm crying. It's the get ready for questions, but that don't got nothing to do.
That don't got nothing to do with us.
She stresses me, dog. I swear to
That
God.
don't got nothing to do with us. But yes, welcome back to Vitamin Melanin. It's your girl, Ciara.
And it's your girl Taylor. For those of
And we
you who haven't known about the
oh yes,
vitamin, you're gonna know about vitamin. So it is welcome and or welcome back. So
yes, my bad, Playboys.
mm.
Or new Playboys. Um,
New playboys.
um, what was I about to say? Oh, this week, we decided, hey, let's talk about some dates. Let's get into this hell fest of dating.
Yes, talking about these first dates that people have a lot to talk about, right?
No, hmm.
And so we felt like because I wish I could tell y'all the backstory. I'm not even gonna hold you, but
Maybe, and I don't even know the backstory. But before we start deep diving, Taylor, take it away.
I was gonna say we're gonna pop this pill and get us started. Um, all right. So first things first, definitely was gonna talk about like first dates. Locations, activities. When are we doing too much for a first date? How do you know if there's gonna be a second date? Which is really more like a personal like question for the two of us, but still. So we're gonna give some information, obviously, about like our first dates. I'm not giving you an exact location because you don't need to know all that.
At
But
all.
just kind of like some really dope ass ideas that you might want to give. Um, I might want to try out because you might be doing the same old,
Mm-hmm.
movie, dinner type shit. Let's spice this shit up, sweetie. Okay? A lot of
Well,
things we can fucking do. Okay. Okay. So that being said, Cece, where was your first date?
My first date was actually a supposed to be a solo date.
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
it
this.
was at a bookstore, and then it was at another bookstore, and then it was at a restaurant, and then it was at a movie theater. All in one day. Yeah.
I don't know.
So
The adventure is so beautiful to
yeah,
me.
that was a whole story. A very interesting. It was a very long but great 8-hour first date. So yes. Mine had 20,000 different locations. Taylor, how about yours?
So mine, weak if mine, um, was at a coffee shop. Actually, funny enough, we originally met at
Let's go to the location.
yeah, we originally met at Reggae Flavor, and then I had suggested that like if we want to actually have a conversation with each other, um, you probably would want to actually like sit and talk to each other.
Mm.
So a place that's quieter. That's what I said, and we wound up being in a coffee shop. And we spent 5 hours in the coffee shop just talking about everything, nothing,
Right.
really getting to know each other. Like it was, it was nice. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard not to be like a girl, but
Gush.
it was nice. Um, yeah. So
Do we
obviously,
want to go in depth with our first dates or
that is completely up to you. Honestly, if you want to, because I was gonna just kind of jump right into like some really um what's the word I'm looking for? Creative first date ideas. If
no?
you want to go in depth about your first date, like what did you learn? I mean, I feel like it probably would go more in depth the more that we go through each little
Right. That's
step.
all I was like. Now I do have a question though. We talked
Okay.
about our first dates with our current partners. What was your worst first date?
Ooh, my birthday. Remember when we all went to the movies and I had my first kiss?
Shut up, please. So
What?
good. We both had.
It was that yours too?
No, remember we both had our first kiss on your birthday.
Yes, yes, we both had. Yeah, good.
That was a day to remember, baby.
What a time to be alive.
What a time, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
Shut up, Zizi. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure,
thank God for everyone's deliverance.
for sure. Because
Cause wow,
yeah, yeah, it was a time. I mean, like we had fun because we were at Barnes and Nobles and shit,
we had a lot of fun. That was a
and we
fun.
went to go see what was that? Joyful Noise.
Yes, shout out to Kiki
Yeah,
Palmer.
yeah. It was a good movie. Cause period, it was
That
a
was a
good
good movie.
movie.
That was a good
The
movie.
kiss was not. It's so funny. We're both gay. Um,
Yeah, that shit is hilarious.
like we both are out as gay now.
That
It
shit
is so
is so
funny.
funny to me, and thankfully both of y'all are cool ass motherfuckers. So
Yeah, it was really one of those like, mm.
um,
We won't be doing this again.
we both, for in
No.
my instance, both of us are not gay. However, that's rude. Never mind.
Ooh, ooh,
Never mind.
ooh.
I didn't have mine. Mine was great, but I also was in love at that point.
Yes.
So mine's a little different. Mine wasn't a first date.
But you asked about my first date. One of my
Yes,
first
like
dates.
your
That was my
first.
first date with him. That's probably my worst one.
I was gonna say
Because
first one.
my
That
first,
was a lot going on. It was a lot of public. Like y'all probably should have had y'all own time. To be very honest.
I agree.
Yeah, it was hectic.
Because what was my other first date? One was at Applebee's, and that was fun. We
Mhm.
just laughed a lot. The other one was at the bowling alley, and he was cute. Because now I remember who it was.
Yeah.
Dog.
Woo.
He was cool.
My God.
Um, I think now in terms of fun, my favorite would probably be the amusement park. I mean, not the amusement park, the fair, the
Hmm.
state fair. I'm scared shitless, but it was a really fun like as a first date, which is funny because I was gonna bring that up as an idea for like a really creative fun
It
first
is a cute date.
that's a fun date to have, period.
It
So
is.
like that was for a first date, that was actually really fun. I really enjoyed myself. I have to say that was a really good first date. Um, oh, for the people that's looking at me, right? I thought about this because normally I'm
Oh
usually
yeah.
recording and nobody's seeing my black ass.
That's
Um,
true.
so
She forgot.
I'm in the process of getting ready to put my own wig on. So that's why I look like a bald nigga in a Tyler Perry show.
Get
I can explain that.
out.
I can explain that. At least I don't look like Shamar Moore's braided wig. You feel me? So I feel like,
Ah,
oh
please.
shit. No, I can't lie to you. I'm weak at healing myself. Okay. So sorry.
Going back, my worst date. My worst date. There's so many.
True. Did you ever have a well, I guess that was your only first date. No, it wasn't. What was your worst first date?
My worst first date was. I'm trying to see how much detail I can just encompass.
Crying.
I went to a restaurant. I was dressed nice because I was told to dress nice, and my nice was different definition.
Mm-mm,
And
mm-mm,
the person didn't sound like I thought they would,
mm-mm.
and then the person it was a lot. It was just a lot of stuff going on. I want to say that was my worst first date.
I lied because there was one first date that I didn't actually have. That was a first date. It was more like a first meetup.
I'm trying to think if any meetups have gone.
But I don't want to. I'm not gonna get too much
Yeah,
into because I'm not. I'm not about. I'm not about to raise my blood pressure when I already got shit going on. Okay.
right. I'm trying to think if a meetup has gone bad the first time. Actually, was that bad? Was that the same? I've had experiences of no. If we're gonna technically this is after the date. This isn't my worst. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I don't know if this is my worst first date. My worst first date ended with me being told that I wasn't a good girlfriend. Um, I already knew what it was.
Please don't piss me off.
um,
Ooh wee.
I want to say I don't think that was my worst first. It was my worst kind of like ending per se, but yes. I was told that I wasn't a good girlfriend, mind you. We had
Fuck
just
that nigga.
started.
Let's start there. But I'm sorry.
We had just started dating that day. Uh,
Crying because ooh wee.
that's just all the detail I'm gonna give for that one, but
Cause CC please.
that was as a child. As an adult, my worst date was the one I just described, where we had different definitions of stuff, of how
When I was
nice
a
was
child,
dressed,
I spoke as
and
a child.
yeah. And also I wasn't pressured like, oh my god, I'm scared for my life, but
Mm.
I was pressed on, trying to go back home with them or them coming with me. That was my worst first date. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Kawika box today. You feel me?
Look, I don't even remember that man's name, so
I'm crying.
I don't remember his name.
It's
But
weird
yeah,
you don't remember that man's name.
I
But
don't.
but but we do. And that's the main
I
thing.
am weak. I don't even know. Could we talk about like because worst first dates and worst dates are two different things.
It's definitely first dates. We're on first dates,
Yeah,
ma'am.
because that's a whole different ball game, baby. But how? Well, I guess going along with first dates, we could
Hmm.
skip instead of like activities. Like, what do you think is doing too much?
Okay, well, that kind of goes into some of my activities because,
Okay,
so for instance, I think, right, for a first date,
me personally.
um, I had found a list of like really cool creative first dates. So like there was an escape room. I thought that was cool. It gives you the chance to really see how they think, how they
Yeah.
oh hell, my bad, y'all. How they think, how they, problem solve. If they are
Mhm.
a problem solver, or if they're a weak bitch. You feel me?
Whew.
Did that, but that's just me learning for well, there won't be a next time. Cause
Hey,
but if there happened to be
period.
a next lifetime, definitely gonna do that shit. Um I
That's
saw one with like a cooking class for two. I'm gonna be
yeah.
honest with you. I don't think I would do that for a first date. Um, I feel like that's I
I
wouldn't say it's
would.
too much, but I don't want to say because it's not extra. But I feel like me personally, I wouldn't do a cooking class because it's not enough time to like sit down and get to know you.
That's true.
If
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
just a cooking class, I would
Yeah.
do a cooking class and then like we get drinks or something afterward. Or like I guess if it's one of those cooking classes where you cook the food together and then you eat the food with like, each other and you can sit down and
Yeah.
talk with each other, then I would do it like that. But just a cooking class, I don't really know you like that, nigga. So like you trying to have fun and play with the dough and shit and put like shit on my nose and I'm just like, nigga, this is not a romance movie. I don't fucking know you.
Oh
So
my
like
god. Not you done made a scenario.
what did you say?
Not you done already made the scenario of how this is gonna go.
I mean, I'm just saying they want to do it like it's in the movies. They high key be trying to do it like it's in the movies. and it'd be cute. But like if I don't know you like that's my first time meeting you, why are we
Yeah,
playing
it's like don't touch my face.
in flower? Like what are we doing?
I
Um
get that. I get
so
that.
that's one it just depends on how you do it, I
I
guess.
get that. Yeah,
Um another like one was doing an outdoor movie night.
that's cute.
Where though? Because I'm not going to your house and you're not going to mine.
No, at a drive-in movie theater.
See, they ain't say that. They just said outdoor movie night. Quite literally, it was setting up an outdoor moving screening. It's like so moving, setting up an outdoor movie screening, meaning you have to set up the
Yeah, like where
projector,
are you
and set
gonna?
up the movie.
That only works if
Drive
you
in,
live in like
yes,
yeah, if you that only works if you live like in the country and you have a pickup truck, to be very honest.
true. Because
So
if not, I'm gonna have to set it up in my backyard, and
yeah, and I
not
don't need you to
coming
know where I
to
live.
my
Yeah.
house. You know, cool.
Hmm.
So you see what I'm saying? Like that's a little much.
That's
I
true.
don't
That's
like
true.
I don't like that. I don't like that. But everything else though, attending a comedy show, if it's local and it's just like a $20 entry fee, cool.
Cool, fine. Yeah.
Entry fee, cool. You talking about a comedy show and we finna go see Cat Williams and them motherfucking prices and tickets is $75 at the lowest? Yeah, you got me bent, big dog. Um,
Unless you're paying.
Crying. I see, and me personally, I wouldn't feel right if somebody had paid that much money out because you also have drinks, you also have refreshments. So unless it was like you pay for the tickets and I'll pay for the food, like I'm one of them. Like it's got to be equal opportunity somewhere in there, right? Because that's
You got it,
on its
big. You
own.
got it, big dog.
Well, for a first date, I never really expect that. I feel like I'm cool with going Dutch on a first date. um it's nice if you pay for everything on the first date, but like for me and my fiance's first date, like we were there long enough that they paid for my first meal and drink, and so I was like, I'm gonna return the favor. We were there long enough for two
I
fucking meals,
mean, yeah, you guys
5
were doing
hours.
long
We were there for two fucking meals.
enough.
So I'll return the favor and I'm gonna pay for yours. So like stuff like that, um just because you ain't always got to cover everything. Now, if you just real pressed about it, I'm not gonna stop you, big homie. I'm gonna do one of them where the check come and be like, "Are you sure you don't want me to pay for mine?" No, I told you I got it. Okay, cool, bet. I'm gonna make the effort to let you know that I got it and I could pay for it,
Yeah,
but I'm
I'm
not
going
gonna fight
to
your ass on it.
yeah,
You want to cover everything? You're most welcome to. But also, if you were honest with me in the beginning that like, hey, financial situation right now not too good to really cover everything, then I'll be like, cool, we can go Dutch. If I like you enough and we have conversations and I can tell you not bullshitting, like people have
right.
hard times because I'm having a fucking hard time. I get it. Probably shouldn't be like dating. We could just, date. Like
Yeah,
dating, like doing expensive shit, just like go to the park, um,
right.
or a botanical garden.
That's my worst first date.
The
The
botanical
nigga never showed up to the park. That's it.
we really had to go through all this. So you could do. Some people say doing a DIY art and craft night is a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Again, where are we painting at?
So
Location. That was one of my things too.
painting slips.
Location. Where
They're
you want to do
painting
that.
slips.
I
They're
like
rug
those.
making classes. Like not classes, but like
Those.
rug making things. Like there's stuff like that. So like
Yeah,
there's
okay.
things.
So like the
There's
actual
things.
class slash studio type of
Yeah, like I for my birthday we
because they
went
said
rug making.
DIY. Mm-mm.
It's DIY because you get to make your own design.
It's not DIY if you
So
didn't buy the materials
but
though.
the main thing is paint and sip. Like I know there's a free paint.
Yeah.
It's not even a paint and sip. It's a paint and sit. I we did that as a date that I had planned because it was ultimately just free. Like they had all the stuff. I
Mhm.
donated because it was like kind of like a nonprofit thing and like the message
Oh.
about it and everything I like. But yeah, like it's paint and sips and paint and sit little things. A lot of those actually happen for free if you're like in a big city.
Mhm. Or
So
like sometimes some people will do them like it's like partnering with a restaurant. So it's
oh
like
yeah.
all they have to do is go in and maybe like buy a drink at the bar and drinks are like
Mhm.
$5, $10, well, $10 to $15 at the most because drinks at the bar.
Right.
Or like you buy like an appetizer or something like that. So like
Yeah,
just
see,
so that
yeah.
it's supporting the business, but also you do everything else for free. I've seen those, and those look like fun. Um, Pottery, I've done it by myself, but I would definitely want to do that as a first, no, as a first date, as a first
I
experience.
don't know. All I'm gonna have in my head is ghost. So I
Oh,
don't know if I'm gonna be able to take it seriously.
my
I don't know
love.
if I'd be able to take it seriously because all I can think of is ghosts. I've seen that
I
movie
get
way too
that.
many times. I
I
don't
get
think
that.
I would be able to take myself seriously.
I get that. What
I
about a
would be
trampoline park then? Or a skate rink? So you can kind of put them together like trampoline park, skate rink, bowling,
I like that
laser
idea.
tag type ordeal.
I
Remember
like that
Shindig?
idea.
What if you went to Shindig for a first date?
I like that idea. I'm not mad at it at all because you could do other stuff. Like you could do laser tag and all that extraness.
You're not mad at it?
I'm not mad at that at all actually.
Because I would love to do like Dave and Buster's too. I feel like Dave and Buster's
Yes,
would have been a hit.
I would have that would be
I would have had a blast.
that would be so much fun to go to Dave and Buster's. I still want to do that. I definitely still want to do that and go to like a laser tag or something like that too. Like I like those type of things.
Something simple too could be a picnic. It could literally be you bring like food that you like, they bring their own food that they like. Y'all come
Yeah.
together, y'all meet, sit on a blanket, talk, all the things.
Hmm.
You could stay long enough to stargaze if you live in one of those places where you can actually see the fucking stars and it's not city lights.
Which,
Um,
baby,
because I can
we
see the
don't over
stars.
this, but
It's like I can see the stars. But like I feel like stuff like that where it really gives you the option to talk with each other,
hmm
but also environments where you get to kind of see how they interact with the environment, especially the escape room one, because we have to work together as a team to
how do
get
you
out.
work under pressure?
And like, I need to know how you work under pressure. I need to know how you work with other people. I need to know, like all of those things.
Hmm.
I feel like finding that out on a first date is actually kind of smart because you get to see your red flags early. Because
That's
people
true.
who don't do well under pressure and like are really good at covering that type of shit up on a first date that's controlled, contained, and
Yeah,
like chill. But like you put them in a situation like that, it's very much
a whole different story.
like, oh,
You
you
cry.
like to manipulate bitches.
Yeah, you.
Mm,
Oh.
you get angry and you like to use your fists. Nah, but dog, you ain't got nothing.
One that I would recommend for sure, and not just because I've done it. Actually, it's because I've done it and I've seen how this goes. Is like a book date
Oh yes, I love
because
them.
that it shows you like what they're reading. You can see what they're really into. Like we talked about everything under the sun. We talked about like you gotta see how nerdy that person is. Like it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see like what they're reading, what they're into, like what their intellectual is
I was
looking
gonna
like.
say it kind of gives you like a glimpse into like their head in terms
Yeah.
of like how do they think, I mean, obviously your book choices kind of show your interests and like the type of things that you really like to engage in and indulge in. I feel that heavy because you also get to see whether or not you two could be compatible if you're
Mhm.
like not intellectually on the same level, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just one of those things where it's like I'm more into this, you're more into this.
Mhm.
So for instance, and there's nothing against this, but like what's a good example? You're really into romance novels and fiction. And so a lot of what your expectations are based on fiction,
Mhm.
romance novels. I'm into I'm trying to give an example, but shit, y'all. I like true crime.
I was about to say like
I like
self-help or some
philosophy.
shit. Like I'm into self-help, entrepreneurship, like
It's
kind of stuff like that. Like
like that, but I don't read it. Not in book form.
yeah.
If
Which
that makes
is
sense. I'm a
and it
podcast
becomes a
person.
lot. I think it's just different. Like if you're into like say if you're into horror books and like you're with someone that like can't do it or like or is into like fairy tale stuff and that's
Because I
it.
love Stephen King. But like
Like it's
I was gonna say, somebody who only reads one thing is really what
yeah.
I'm getting at too. It was really what I was getting at. Like you don't branch out at the fuck all.
Or
So like
somebody that
somebody
don't
who
read.
can read. conspiracy theory books. So
Or
everything I
somebody
talk about
that
is
don't
conspiracy theory.
you could read everything under the sun and somebody that don't read.
That too, but you'll figure that out as soon as you walk in there. As soon as you walk in the bookstore, you'll be able to tell a motherfucker that don't read
That's true.
because it'll be like, so what we doing here?
Be
What you mean
like,
what we doing here? We finna go look at some books.
it's
The
also a great yeah, like it's also a great way to it's a great way to talk. Cause like obviously now obviously the library is quiet. Don't go to a library, go to a bookstore.
you could go to the
You
library.
could go to a
I like
library.
the library.
But you
Um,
can't I wouldn't say that as a first date. As a first date, I
I was
would say
gonna
go
say
to a
as a
book.
later date.
Yeah. I would say go to a bookstore. You can talk in the bookstore. You can learn more things about because I know we learned about each other things that didn't necessarily have anything to do with books, but sprouted from book conversations.
Yes, it helps
So
cultivate conversations. Same thing about when you talk about music. Y'all could go to
yes,
a music festival, or like even if you just met at a music festival, I feel like that's actually a dope ass place to really be.
you
Um,
know, it's actually
second date.
smart
I don't
because
know
if you
how.
don't like them, you can lose them on the other side of the music festival.
No, for real, because a lot be going on. So it's like if y'all really dig it, I can't think of who it was, but somebody I don't know them personally, but I want to say we went to school together, like college, and her husband met at a music festival, and it was like they like talked at like a food truck or something, and like really got to know each other, and it
Because
was
I'm
like, what
fooling eyes been
concert? What
long.
concert are you going to? I'm going to this one next. And it was like, oh, cool. I'm going to be at that one too. And quite literally, every single artist they were going to. So they were just like, well, you could be my buddy. Cool. You could be my buddy. And like from that exchange phone numbers and like all of the things. Cause you'll be surprised, like having similar tastes really like is another conversation starter. Cause like in the interim
Mhm.
between people going on as far as like, there's so like shows and stuff, they were like having conversations about everything. Some stuff obviously you're never gonna like be the exact same as your partner, but it's one of those where it's like, yeah, me too, or like, yeah, okay, I see where you coming from, I get that. And it's like one of those like you just click, like you just mesh,
Let me
and
tell you, I
it's
just knew that was
so
gonna happen to me.
easy. Oh,
I just knew that was gonna happen to me, baby. Now
crying. Yours happened in a cute way too, though.
mine happened so crazy. It's that's it
It was
still just it don't be making sense sometimes. And for people that don't understand, the only thing I'm going to tell you is that we met on an app. We matched that day,
That's
that day, and literally like maybe 4 hours later, we were at the first location for our date.
crazy, but beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. Oh,
And I don't trust people, so that was really
it's
I
definitely
was, it was a step. It was a step.
it's a lot. It does. And it's so cute to me. It's
Step.
like, look where you guys are like a year and some change later.
I
I'm
know
cute and shit. We
it's
love to see it.
insanity to me,
It's
but
what was oh, okay. So going back to like the different dates though, what would you consider to be like too much for a first date?
um, what would be too like a family event? Don't do that. Don't do that.
If that's your first time meeting the family, is the first time we meet each other? Hell nah.
Don't do that.
Now, is this okay? Is this contingent upon like y'all have been talking, or
Don't
like
do
you just up out the blue like meet each other for a little bit? And how do I put this? Like if you guys have been talking for a little bit and then you're like, we should see each other, let's go out on a date. Or y'all have only been talking for maybe like a week and like, so let's go out on a date. Does that make sense? Like if y'all
yes.
have been talking for a couple weeks.
Either way, don't do that.
I agree.
Like the first time we're going out on a date and it's like a family event, don't do that. That leads for one, sirs and
Sirs.
nosy and ma'ams, your nosy mama's gonna keep asking about that person, whether they stay there or not. So that alone
That's a
should tell you not to do that.
Let's see. Another one for me.
Don't do that.
So I know I said a cooking class is cool, right? But I'm not cooking for you on my first date. Meaning you're not coming to my house and I'm not cooking dinner for you on our first date. I'm just not gonna do it
And I'm not coming to your house
at all.
for you to cook for me on that first date because that oh I'm gonna cook for you gonna turn into Netflix and chill real quick,
Hmm.
and
And I'm not
I
Netflixing chilling
rather
on the
not.
first date either.
What'd you say? You broke up?
I said I'm not Netflix and chilling on a first date either.
Yeah,
Nope.
unless that is the type of time you on, and this ain't a date.
Right, which should be clearly communicated before you get in the building.
Exactly, both people need to know what's going on.
Because we need to know
Uh,
what's up before I get over there. Now, if you're saying that this is all we're gonna do, then that gives me the opportunity, or this is all you want to do, that gives me the opportunity to decide if this is what I want to do too. If
exactly.
it's not, and you actually want to pursue some, I'm a firm believer that if you actually really want to pursue something with me, you're not going to be so quick to jump in bed on the first date with me. Um,
See, funny enough, I
the
actually
type of
disagree.
people, for the type of people that I prefer, right? And I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with having sex on the first date. I'm not saying that, but like more so, if that was your only objective, you were not interested.
Oh well, yeah.
And if I were to say I'm not comfortable with having sex on the first date, you'll be able to tell that because it'd be like, okay, cool. I'm fine with that. I mean, it's not a big deal. Hell, the people that I would like, the people that I have dated don't press me on the first date. Never have. Um,
Well,
except for
well,
except for one. And no. So in terms of like stuff like that, I'm really a firm believer. Like, if they really are interested in you, they're not pressed about it in the sense of like, oh well, if we not fucking, then we not doing none of this. It's very much like, that's cool,
mhm,
shawty. Like, that's
it's
cool. I'm
fine.
really
Yeah.
feeling you. So like, shit. And ooh, and I love the type where it's like, I'm really feeling you, so it's gonna happen anyway. Like, you gonna be feeling me enough where it's gonna happen anyway. And it'd be like, ooh, that's you confident.
Okay.
Come on, confidence. Talk your shit. Okay. Talk that shit. Yeah. Love that. Absolutely love that.
I'm
But
trying to
I
think.
see what you're saying in terms of like fucking on first date period. I don't have a problem with that. I feel like that's not a bad like gig,
Oh
especially
yeah,
if we're
like
on the same
we're away
page.
from all that stupidness.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
cares.
no, if we're on the same page. It's just more so like, if it happens, it happens, and it is what it is. But it's more so just like, if it don't, you're not gonna be ready to like whoop my ass over that
Yeah,
shit,
like you don't get
or
like
feel like I wasted my time taking you out on a
yeah.
date. Nigga, it's the first date. What do you mean? If I'm just not feeling comfortable enough with you, I'm not comfortable enough with you, and it's my body, and you should honor that. Just like if you told me and I was pressing you, then yeah, I don't really know you like that enough, shorty. That like, I don't know if I want to really go with you, like go there with you right now. Cool, I respect that.
It's
Just because
quite
y'all want to be hoes, don't mean we gotta be hoes. That's all I'm saying. But that's neither here nor there. Just because you don't like honor your body, don't mean I don't have to honor my body. Like, the hell, what they gotta do with me?
ooh
Maybe
child.
you should love yourself a little bit more, sir, ma'ams, thems. Maybe you should do that. Just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to think of another date that's doing too much. I feel like when you try now, granted this is gonna sound crazy because I technically did that, but when you try to cram too much into one day, like when you're trying to cram, see mine
If
flew
you have
natural.
a fucking itinerary, basically.
Yeah,
That's all
like
I'm asking
because
you.
like it flows like mine flew flown whatever. It went
Flew,
natural.
flowed.
You see how that doesn't sound right?
Talking about flowing. Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about flying. Yeah, it flowed naturally.
It didn't. Yeah, it went naturally where we did a lot of stuff. Which we really didn't do a lot of stuff. We went to the bookstore, had to go to another one, went to eat because we both were hungry, and then we went to the movies.
It really isn't that long when you think about it. I mean, it is, I guess, if you count the fact that he went to both of those stores with you. But other than that, though, It really wasn't that
We
extra.
actually suggested the second one, but like,
It seems like it really ain't that extra.
yeah, it's really not that much. And on top of that, none of that was planned. Like it was one of those like, "Oh, you hungry? I'm hungry. Let's go do this." "Hey, I
Mhm.
don't really want this to end. Like, let's go do something."
I
And we
was
had
about to
talked
say
about it.
no's are nice if you don't feel
Yeah.
until you decide to keep going.
When you're like, we're gonna go this place and this place and this place and this place, or we're gonna do this, and this. Oh,
I
another
put this
thing.
on my itinerary, and I think we should do this type of thing. And it'd be like, bro, it's just one day.
Yeah, another thing that's doing too much is um and I think this is just doing too much on a date, not necessarily as a date, is
Hmm.
trying to order for someone.
Ooh, carry on.
That's a lot.
Baby, you don't know me and I don't know you. It's one thing to be like, I really feel like you should try the wine here because da, da, da,
Mhm.
da. But that's like, okay, that's if you're going to a restaurant that you're familiar with. Whereas I like going to a restaurant where neither one of us are familiar with it. So we get to try something new together. Um,
Mhm.
for me, that's a way for me to kind of avoid somebody trying to like order for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Like,
order for me if you ain't never been here, playboy.
yeah, like perhaps a salad, perhaps not.
Please,
Um
for the lady, perhaps a salad.
if you don't know where that's from,
Oh
lame.
God,
But
Atlanta so much. You loved the fuck out of this movie. You finna make me cry.
but yeah, like don't order for someone that's it's a little odd, it's a little controlling. It's very much red flaggish. Very much
I will say too, for me personally,
red
especially if
flaggish.
it's a first date and we haven't been talking up until this point, like if it's
Mhm.
just we met each other, hey, I'd like to take you out on like you got my number. We probably talked for like a week, and you got my number. Well, okay, that's backwards, but we met. You got my number. We've been talking for a week, and we're finna go on a date. And we talked about going on a date when you got my number, so you really just calling me to ask me out on a date. Don't talk about sex. Me personally,
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
touching the
don't
first date. Now, if we've been talking for some months and we finna meet up for the first time, I ain't saying you can't talk about it on the first date, and I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying that shit on the table because we've been talking for some months. So if
and
we
honestly, you probably have talked about this on the phone if it's been
I was
months
gonna say
anyway.
we've already been talking about it because it's been some months. So like that's
So
cool. I'm cool with that. I could do that. I could do that. But if I
yeah.
just met you and you call me like, hey, remember when I met you at the coffee shop? So I really want to take you out on a date. Are you available at this time? This time? Be at like at this place? Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. Bet. Nigga, we talked at the coffee shop for like 5 minutes when I was in the line. You thought I was cute, so you wanted my number. Um, don't ask me about that because I'm really gonna feel like you don't want nothing but that. You feel me? Have some fucking decorum. Shit. And that goes for the mams too.
Yeah, because
Especially on this side of the fence, I am seeing a lot.
oh baby, because y'all bold over there.
I'm seeing a lot.
Y'all be bold over there, but y'all
It's
also be getting
mamas.
married in like 3 months. So
It's mamas. Relax. Okay. Relax.
y'all be
Also,
strong over
I'm
there.
off the market. So why we even having that conversation is wild. Like, why you even trying to come to me with that is wild. I just met you 2 days ago. And we're just friends. I met you on a business tip, or I met you because you're like a fellow musician. Like, what are you doing?
Calm down, calm down.
Calm down.
Another thing, not that's doing too much on your phone.
Mm.
Why?
You're not babysitting me, are you? That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, like
We're
don't.
here together. We're present. Be present.
And I feel like that's dates period, but like specifically on a first date, like do not be on your phone the whole time. That's a little excessive. Like you continually checking social media, you continually messaging other people or something like that. Don't do that. That's inconsiderate. That's very inconsiderate. That's not nice at all. Another one, trauma dumping. Don't do that to our first date, please. That's doing too much. I don't care if this person feels like they are the angel that has descended upon you to release all of this pent up whatever. Do not trauma dump on somebody on the first date. That's terrifying. That's scary. Don't trauma dump.
Don't trauma dump. So like, don't talk about your ex. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, and even if you talk about your ex, don't talk too long about your like, like
I feel like unless it's a question where like we're having a conversation and I was like, in your last relationship, what do you feel you could have done
right,
differently to sustain the relationship? Um, or what do you feel like you both could have done differently to sustain the relationship? I'm gonna ask you what you could have done first and foremost anyway, because I want to see if you can take accountability. And if the first thing you're doing is like, well, I did everything I could, but like they was really just nagging me on some shit, like they never wanted enough, XYZ, then it's really gonna be like
got
something
it.
off because what did you do? It takes two. No, for real. It takes two. So it's very much like there's no way you're a completely innocent party, bro. It's very rare that you're a completely innocent party unless this is a domestic violence situation, okay? And if that's the case, I'm glad you left. I'm happy for you.
Right,
But if it's two, even if they're two toxic adults, but like they're not to that level, everybody plays a part in something. Um, there are things that you could have done differently. There are things that you could grow on. I could probably say that I wish personally I would have enforced my boundaries in my last relationship because I allowed things to happen that I shouldn't have let happen. At the same vein, I should have met people where they were. If that's where you were, I should not have tried to do
whoa.
more. I should not have tried to expect more out of, you know, where you're at. Um, Sort of thing. I cannot change a person into who I want them to be. They either are
Amen.
who they are or they're not. And that sort of thing. So like I could sit and tell you like I those are things I learned. And things I've improved on, things I can do better about because I'm at a point now where like I accept you for who you are. Now, am I going to push you to grow and be a better person? Most definitely,
Absolutely.
but I'm not going to try and make you fit into a mold because
Mhm.
that's what I envision for my life and stay in a place because I am comfortable with you. It's not okay. It's not okay for either one of us. It's okay to grow. It's okay to grow separately and to have the agreement that you guys don't need to be together anymore. So, like, all of those things make sense to say on the first date. It don't make sense to be like, that nigga ain't treat me like shit. The nigga was never there for me. He did not answer the phone when I called, stood me up on a date, did this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause then it's gonna be like, well, Miss Mamas,
Are you
are
okay?
you
Are you
okay?
healed? Like, are you? Should you
And
be here?
why did they do all of that?
And some people really aren't shit. Let's
Yeah.
be clear.
So you have to.
Just, just
so
don't do.
you, please. So you do have to. You do have to be honest on that. But then, like, I definitely would be like, honestly speaking, is there anything that you could have done differently that would have helped your relationship in any way, that would have helped your partner in any way, things of that nature? Like, I would really try to reel it back
Or
in
help
to
you
see if you
leave,
could say something about you that you could fix so you could be accountable. And if you can't do that, don't do it, baby. You got to go.
or help you leave. Like
Yeah.
anything that helped you leave. But
That is your
yeah,
past. Yeah, no, can't do that. Don't
yeah, no.
don't tell me that you're homeless either. That is not my responsibility. Don't tell me that you need money. That is not my responsibility. I don't know you like that. So why do you feel comfortable to ask me these things? I don't know you like that. I don't. And how the hell we get to this date but you ain't got no money? So now I gotta pay for everything? I am only paying for my check. I'm only paying for my food. Say for instance this dinner. I'm only paying for my food and my drink. I'll even split the appetizer with your ass, but I'm not paying the whole fucking bill. We agreed before we got here that we was going Dutch. I'm not paying your shit. You better figure it out. You better go wash some goddamn dishes because I'm not doing it. I was fucking confused. I said what I said when I said what I said. And that's what
Uh,
happens. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna backslide just because I feel bad. I'm not gonna do that.
well,
Because in that lets you know that you feel like you could just ask. You could probably feel bad about it for a little bit, and I'm gonna feel bad for you, and then I'm gonna do it. No,
no,
no.
no,
Tough break, Playboy. You shouldn't have came on a date.
yeah, no. And you know what? Yes, I think that's like the best. Now, for the last date, how do you? Because I just how do you know? How do you know if there will be a second date? Because I'm gonna
Because
tell you how I know there won't be one.
please tell. Oh, please.
But how do you know when there will be another one?
If the conversation went smoothly and it wasn't a lot of awkwardness, um, then I have this sense of like energy that like you're comfortable to be around. I dig your vibe pretty much. So like I know that like I would enjoy spending more time with you. If I leave the date feeling like, I really like spending time with them. Like we had a great time. We had a great
Mhm.
conversation. I laughed a lot because laughing is really a big thing for me. Like if you can
Yeah.
make me laugh, like if you make me laugh, you could really make me think. Um
Weird.
Whoa. No, but seriously, if you can make me laugh, you can make me think. Like it really is. And like I leave the date and you're still on my mind, I'm gonna want a second date. I'm gonna want to see you again. Um Hell, if I text you at the end of the night that I really enjoyed myself, or the end of the date, whatever time of day it is, I really enjoyed myself, I'd love to see you again. I mean that shit because I don't like people. So if I really say that I want to see you again, it's because I do. What else? I
Um,
think that really covers that for me. So
I
what about
mean, yeah, I think when we've already planned the second date before we leave,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
because some people like, oh, we should go on a second date. Or like, yeah,
Because
we
I
should.
have
I'm gonna hit
certain
you
things
up.
like where would you want to go for funny enough. I want to say, so where do you want to go next?
Yeah, like,
Have an answer for it and I have an answer for it, it's definitely like, yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
do it.
like this is gonna happen.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, like
I dig that.
when you are already planning that second date as you're leaving, that's one for me. And kind of going along with what Taylor was saying is like if you don't want to leave, like if the only reason why you're leaving this date is priorities,
No, because that was literally my first date. The only reason why I left is because I had to go do something, and then
the
I wound up
only
missing it.
the only reason why I left when I did is because I am a dog mom and I had to check on my baby because I had been gone for 8 hours and I had not planned to be gone that long.
When time slips away from you guys,
Yes, that's a whole other thing.
gosh,
Yes. And we are constantly having that problem. We're like, it's already so and so and so and so. Like, what the hell? Like, so yeah, like when time is slipping away, when you only leave that date because of priorities, for sure. For me, when I tell you to text me when you get home and you actually text me when you get home,
yeah, because if you don't text me when you get home, don't even worry about it. Lose my number, bro.
I'm worried about your safety. If I care enough about your safety, you need to let me know. Thank you. And if I care about your safety, then there's gonna be a second day.
I'm weak because why you say that like that was pointed?
Because a lot of people don't listen, especially niggas. And that goes to my friends and my man. When we tell you to watch, to tell us, like, hey, let me know when you get home. Because I have friends that don't do that
And this
either.
is
And I
why
have to get
my
on to them.
friends, true.
You said what?
This is why my friends just have my life 360 because I'm not gonna go through all that.
Yeah, but like
Keep
I
it the
have friends,
justification that I made at home.
I literally have guy friends that I have hung out with. It's late at night. And I'm like, hey, let me know when you get home.
Crickets.
So like
Goddamn crickets. No,
I know I'm not your girl, but I asked you to let me know when you get home. What is so hard about that? I
no,
don't
no, you're not.
understand.
I'll be dead serious. Like I will beat your ass if I don't hear from you in the next
No,
5 minutes.
especially if, yo, you tell me to let you know when I get home. I let you know. That is an easy way. If you forgot to even tell me, once I let you know I'm home, you
Yeah,
let me know you're
I forget
home.
sometimes.
Like, I just don't understand. But that is another way that I know it's a second date. Or the second date, I know there is a possibility for me to be happy with the second date if like if I get home and I'm like, that was nice. Like,
Yeah. Like, yeah, like I said, if I'm thinking about you, like really
that
thinking about you
was nice.
after the date, if I no, here's the big one. And CC, you already know what I'm about to say. Or you should, because you should be in agreement. If I tell my best friends about the date and I keep telling them how much I liked you, oh, there's a second date. You better believe.
If
Like
my friends know you by your actual name,
your real name and not a nickname, because we make a
'cause
nickname for everybody, baby. If
baby,
you have a real name, if you have a real name, your government name, oh, I like you.
my partner is the only person I have ever been on a date with, ever, as an adult, that they have known his actual name, and I have only referred to him as his actual name from the very beginning.
See what I'm saying?
Only
Same.
person. Everybody else,
Not same, Lord. Because if I dated them and like we actually got into a relationship, my best friends know their real names.
yeah.
Security purposes. Um,
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, other than that, yes. But
but
like,
like,
if we
yeah,
don't create a nickname for you,
because you could still be dating somebody or still in a relationship with somebody and there's a nickname for you. Because I got several of them that have nicknames.
very much.
Band Bad being one of them.
We refer to him like that to this day.
To this day. It's only I think one of them is another is well, not really wasn't my boyfriend, but Mitch is another. That's not even
Don't
the
get me
same.
started. Don't get me started. Don't get
Um,
me started.
I don't even know what we call the other one. We he already had a name.
Yeah, we all knew him. So,
I'm saying we're all
that
cool, so like that's different.
didn't matter.
Um,
That was different.
what about the other one?
I don't remember what it was.
They
I
I don't
don't
know what name they have for that one, but
I don't
essentially
think we
all
gave him a
it's called
name.
Mitch.
I personally made it my mission to be a menace. Can't lie.
Cry,
That entire relationship I
cry.
was. And it's something in my soul. Just
They be knowing. I tell you now, they be
because
knowing.
I mind my business. Ask my friends, I mind my business.
Yeah, she does.
I
She does. So if she feels something, it's usually like, damn,
if
this.
I'm being and when I
If
say I
I
was a
have to
menace,
fight my friends to be like, no, no, it's okay. They're okay. It's a good guy. It's a good person. They're
I
probably not a good fucking person.
I was a menace
They're
every
probably not a
time
good person.
I
As
was
long as
around
you try to.
Taylor and she was talking to this person. Like I was a menace.
Yeah. Yup. Like I said, if I get to tell my best friends about my date and how well it went, and I tell them the rundown from beginning to end, and there's no mm, so that sounds a little shady. Like if there's none of that from the best friends, that usually is a good sign that they also feel good about said first date and they're excited for me to be on another date, which would also mean I am excited because that's like a stamp of approval, at least for the
I
second
almost didn't
date.
even tell them for mine. It happened so quickly. I almost just didn't say anything. I did it at the last minute. Like
I
I was,
didn't even get my wax today.
mm-mm. I was on my way to the
Jesus.
place. I mean, also that's because I didn't think it was actually happening. You know, it wasn't. It my first date wasn't a confirmed first date technically. So I didn't know that it was actually happening
Until it happened.
until it happened.
That's kind of cute. Can't lie to you.
Hmm?
I said that's kind of cute. I can't lie to you.
I mean, yeah, it's um,
I think that's
but
cute. I really do.
it was definitely cute how it happened. Um,
Crying.
yeah.
I say the amount of silence I have to edit out for this one little part.
Yeah. But I think that'll do it.
I
That
was about to say, so let me know, let us know, like about your first dates,
please,
um,
good or bad,
good or bad, both really.
for
Um,
real.
any cool locations or activities that we talked about or didn't talk about that you want to add to the list? bring them on. We love to hear from you guys as always. So moving right along, um, we have CC with a black fact.
Yes,
But fact, I had my wax at 8 and did not know it.
Lord.
So I
Um,
got a few minutes.
the fa- okay, so my fact of this week, since we're talking about dates and stuff, and we're going on dates to hopefully find love, I figured we do a black fact about black love, and that
Ooh.
is from 1890 to 1950, black women had a higher marriage rate than white women, and in 1950, only 9% of black children lived without their father. So from 1890 to about 1960, the black marriage rate was either higher than white marriage rate or at the same. And by 1960, the black marriage rate had declined but remained close to the white marriage rate. A lot of, we know societally, they try to put down like black love and black marriage and things of that nature, saying that, oh, our system is wrong. Well, our system is flawed. Our system is flawed by them in the first place. But there's not much of a disparage of rates when it comes to white marriage and black love and things of that nature. So I thought that fact was interesting, that from 1890 to 1950, black women had a higher marriage rate. And I also read somewhere, even in slavery times, because we were very serious about still having that partner, having that sanctioned marriage and stuff, that black Americans, or forced to be Americans, because a lot of them were getting married more than a lot, a lot of black people were still getting married during slavery more than white people enslaved. So, you know, don't let them try to warp your mind that black people don't believe in love to each other and black women don't want to get married, because the only reason that would be is because, well, that's another episode for another day. We're not going to go into that. But that is the black fact of this week.
I'm
Love
crying.
each other, you know.
Thank you for the black fact. Moving
Hmm.
right along.
That's an episode, baby.
That's really the end of the episode. See, did you have a black business for the week?
I did. So the black business of the week, I'm gonna be mushy, and I'm
Let's
going to shout out the bookstore that I went to, which was a black bookstore that ultimately ended up being a part of my first date. It is
Oh,
located.
it's so cute.
It is located in Atlanta, Georgia. It is by Morehouse. It is called 44th and 3rd Bookseller. I will have the link to their website in the description below. It is very cute and small, quaint place. The guy that works there, he was very nice. He's very knowledgeable. He talked to us. He would literally just talk to us. He was giving us suggestions. I walked in and they was having a whole conversation. That's a different story. But like the workers there are really nice. They have a lot of events where authors will come in and talk about their book or read their book. And like I said, they carry black authors. They have comic books, they have fiction, nonfiction, children books. It's such a nice place. They also have certain merch. It's a really nice place. It's a really small, like, but nice and very full bookstore. So 44th and 3rd Bookseller or bookstore is the black company this week, or the black business this week. Definitely go to them, shout them out, anywhere. Go get a book from there. Definitely read more for our black authors. A lot of times black and other minority authors are not given a lot of space and not a lot of leeway when it comes to displaying their artwork in small businesses and big businesses such as Barnes and Noble and things of that nature. I know there's kind of been a little bit of a controversy that I saw on TikTok over the past few weeks. So definitely, please support your black authors, whether that's comics, nonfiction, fiction, self help, anything of that nature. But yes, that's the Black Business of this week. Once again, it's 44th and 3rd Bookstore. I'll have a link in the description below, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia, by Morehouse. It's like across the street from Morehouse College. That's it for this.
Crying. No, but that's super sweet, honestly. I love it. Yay. Alrighty, so next week, tune in for our regularly scheduled shenanigans, as you can see, that's all the fuck we do.
Baby.
Um, Let us know what you're interested in hearing this season. We definitely want to get some ideas for episodes. Excuse me. Guests, that sort of thing. We would love to do that actually.
And
Um,
we're looking into that. We're talking to some
yeah,
people,
definitely talking to a few people to get them on the podcast, just so we can have some depth and some other
some
thoughts and
expertise.
ideas and expertise outside of our own. Um, Follow us on IG and Facebook. Our information will be in the episode description and every episode's description. So, listen to old episodes if you miss us, feel bad. Um, and speaking of, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts,
Mhm.
Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music / Audible, pretty much anywhere. No, Google Podcast is going away and it's actually going to
They're
go away.
going away, but not until next year. So listen to us on
It's
there
gonna have
until they go
Apple
away.
Podcast for a while, but I think it'll wind up merging on YouTube some kind of way. I don't fucking
It
know.
is.
Not my
Yeah,
business, people.
I don't know what to
But pretty much anywhere that you can listen to podcasts is where you'll find us because we're Googleable. It's great. It's cool. It's amazing. Thank y'all so much for the support. Wouldn't really be that far if it wasn't for folks listening in, tuning in, even to our livers. We appreciate you
Yes.
so much. Um, yeah. So
Oh, you can also watch us on YouTube, by the way.
of course,
We
we're on
drop
YouTube now. The fuck.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now. These live videos are posted, edited, of course. If you want the unedited version, let us know in our DMs and we'll make some shape. But those episodes are dropping usually either on Sunday or Monday of the following week. So take a look for that.
Note that she said usually.
Usually
Usually.
Sunday or Monday.
Usually. Some
You
shit
know,
happens. Shit just don't happen.
either way, it will be dropping that week after, always. So don't you fret.
Period. If there is nothing else, without further ado, we were gonna we are gonna leave you lovely people to enjoy the rest of your weekend if you're on live, and for everyone else to have a fan fucking tastic week.
Yes, and happy Thanksgiving to all these people.
We get a special episode next week because we'll be fucking together. It's gonna be sick. I have an idea. I think we're gonna post up in my living room and be doing like you podcasters who really don't need a fucking podcast. And we're gonna work that shit the fuck out, bro. I'm excited. Yeah, I said it. Stop giving black men podcasts who are toxic as fuck, bro. But anywho,
Back.
bye.
Bye.